All right, it's GrandZ. Grand Friday, episode 19. Still out here quarantine GrandZ with my fro, nappiness, roughness. How I want to start. Told you I'm playing beats. I'm not starting no more with other people's music. It's about monetization. Let's see. That's how I feel. Thank you to everybody who hopped on and off the live. Appreciate it. I just got off work. I'm ready to go. Cheers. All right, so welcome to episode 19 of the Grand Fridays. I go by the name of GrandZ, and this is a weekly show. For anybody who's new, this is a weekly show where I talk about music and anything that's connected to it. Also, this is where I showcase my beats, and music. So anything that I'm a part of musically or beats-wise, that's what I showcase. So I want to thank everybody who hops on and off the Facebook Live. Shout out to everyone who watches this on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the GrandZ Insert Greatness Here YouTube page. And before I get into all the stuff that I'm talking about today on this episode, just want to talk about some things that I got going on. As you can see this week, I posted a new show. It's called GrandZ Top 5. And pretty much on this show, I talk about my favorite top fives when it comes to music, entertainment, sports, you name it. So every Tuesday, dropping the show every Tuesday in your Facebook stories, Instagram stories. What else? It's on Snapchat. May not be on Snapchat because it's hard to do it on Snapchat because they got smaller clip sizes, so it's like 50 posts and things like that. It's already a lot of posts when it comes to Facebook and Instagram, but I just wanted to do something different with the content, so I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But GrandZ Top 5 comes on Tuesdays. And actually, you can watch on Wednesdays. You can watch it on IGTV in its entirety. So you can watch the video now on my Instagram pages, GrandZ 32, GrandZ 32, or GrandZ 32 underscore music. So GrandZ 32 underscore music. So you can watch it there. And then actually tomorrow, I will start posting GrandZ Top 5 on my YouTube page on GrandZ Insert Greatness Here channel. So you'll get to see it there too. Episode 2 will come out this upcoming Tuesday. All right, so I got all the plugs out the way. So this has been one busy week, but calling this episode Know Yourself, Know Your Worth, pretty much because I had some interesting things happen this week to me where I had to consult two really important people. My wife and my brother, had to consult with them on, a potential move that I had, an opportunity, or let's say a potential opportunity. I can't even say that it was a guaranteed opportunity. I guess the opportunity would have been to work specifically with this person, which I'll go in depth about when I get to the Crown Talk. But that's pretty much what this episode is going to be about. I'm also going to be talking to you about No Cap in the Cap. We got No Cap in the Cap back this week, along with what I want to talk about. Oh, Travis Scott. That's the first thing I want to talk about before I play a new beat. So I did make a beat this week. These weeks have been really busy in August when it comes to work. The reason why this show didn't start at 5 p.m. and started maybe 5-7 minutes later is due to getting off work a little late. It's been a really busy week, hectic week, doing a lot of stuff. But hey, man, I'm off work now. So cheers to the weekend. If you off work, hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And if you have to work tomorrow, have a little drink. Don't get too messed up. So yeah. So what's been happening in music this week that was important? It's a lot of new releases that dropped this week, such as Nas. Nas dropped the album actually at midnight called King's Disease, produced entirely by Hit Boy, being this big hip hop producer, kind of one of the bigger producers in his generation. He produced the whole album for Nas, and Nas is a legend. Nas is arguably some people's favorite rapper of all time. Nas is in a lot of people's top 5. If you watch my first episode of GrandZ Top 5, Nas was not in my top 5, man. And when it comes to lyricists, he's definitely up there. But when it comes to just the total package of a rap star or artist, Nas is not in my top 5. So you could definitely watch that and see who made the list. But yeah, Nas dropped a new album, and it's crazy because the man is about to turn 47 years old. I mean, he dropped Illmatic in 1994, and he was 19 years old going on 20 years old. So he got a song on his new album called 27 Summers, and it's crazy. Like, I like that beat and I like that song. Just to think about, like, for 27 years you've been listening to an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like his first record that he was on Live at the Barbecue to now, that was 1990 or 1990, 91, something like that. So it's crazy to listen to somebody like pretty much your entire life. This person has been on this, been on the scene and been in music. So it's crazy that, he's dropping new music and it's relevant today. And what he's talking about, along with the beats and the productions and the featured guests that's on the album, such as like Lil Durk. Lil Durk from Chicago has been winning these last few weeks. He's on a new single with Drake. He's on Drake's new single, first single off that album, on the song Laugh Now, Cry Later. You also got him on this, and he's been putting out music himself. So Durk is definitely on the rise. They're trying to put him in that, elevate him to that I guess that middle of the pack to actually elite star for the next 5-10 years. Let's see what happens with Durk. But I mean, Nas got from Lil Durk on there to Big Sean, Big Sean got a nice verse. It sounds like it's about Janae Aiko. I listened to it last night at midnight, or 11:30 Central Time, but I listened to it last night and I thought it was cool. I thought the beats was cool. I felt like some beats were harder than others, but I mean it's Hit Boy, so they all gonna hit. I like Ultra Black. It was cool. It was cool before I heard the album, but I'll be honest, it is a standout song on the album. The real exciting thing is that Nas performed again with The Firm. So anybody know who The Firm is? Firm was a rap group in the 90s that consisted of a lot of top New York rappers at the time, which was Nas, AZ, who's one of the most underrated rappers of all time, who's super lyrical and nice. You got Cormega, who's part of the group for a second. Him and Nature kind of swapped out, but Cormega. And then you had Foxy Brown, which is one of the greatest female hip hop rappers of all time. So, and it's been a long time since we heard from Foxy Brown. So it was great to hear her, get on there rugged and, rapping hard. But just listening to them and that beat was hard. So I think it was a really overall a good album. I won't say it's classic or anything. I think there was some songs that I felt were kind of out of Nas's pocket, range, but I think it wasn't too far left to the point where you couldn't appreciate it. So I think it's a solid album. So go listen to King's Disease by Nas, Nasir Jones. He talked about a lot of key things on there. He talked about women going through abuse and certain things like that. Like I said, the song, I should have wrote it down last night which song this was. It was towards the middle to the end of the album where he's talking about this, and it was one of the better songs to me. Which I'm gonna get into that a little bit in my last topic in a cap segment, talking about women abuse and mental health and things of that nature on this episode as well. But yeah, I just really appreciate Nas' album. On the flip side, I know everybody on the internet be killing every time that Nas drops a project. Here comes Jay-Z. Jay-Z drops every single time that Nas drops, and that's happened like the last, I want to say, 3 albums or something that Nas has dropped. Nas has literally dropped a project, and then Jay-Z has dropped something that same day, and it's usually a surprise, quote unquote surprise. And I don't know if they're working together or not, or if they talk to each other, or if it's just competitiveness or whatever it may be. But Pharrell Williams actually dropped a single yesterday featuring Jay-Z called Entrepreneur. I'm gonna be honest, I love Pharrell. I love Pharrell production. Usually love his songs. I love Jay-Z. Everybody knows how I feel about Jay-Z. Arguably the greatest rapper of all time. On my GrandZ Top 5 first episode, I talked about my top 5 greatest rappers of all time. I'm pretty much telling you slowly as I talk about hip hop who's on that top 5 list, but still go watch the show. Jay, I had that number 2. So that just goes to show you like how much respect and love I have for Jigga. But that song was trash to me. I listened to it. I couldn't get into the groove of the record. I know Pharrell is normally, he usually off, what I'm saying? Sometimes, he goes left sometimes when it comes to the music. He tries a lot of new things, which is, it's great for music, it's great for hip hop, it's great for just sonically. But sometimes, you gotta be honest with even with greats that they can miss. And I feel like yesterday was a miss. I think what Jay was talking about in his verse is cool and it's solid. You can't argue it, but just sonically, musically, I wasn't a fan of the song. That's definitely not. I definitely didn't listen to the song all the way through. I listened to probably the first minute of Pharrell, then I fast forward to where I could hear Jay, then I kind of skimmed through Jay verse. But sonically, I just wasn't feeling the record. But what they were talking about being entrepreneurs and black entrepreneurs, and and one thing Jay said that stood out to me was if you're if you're not gonna own it, I'm paraphrasing it, by the way. He was like, if you're not gonna own it, at least stock the shelf. If you're not gonna own the store, at least stock the shelf, and until you can stock your wealth, or something like that, right? Something to that extent. You can listen to the verse. The song's called Entrepreneur by Pharrell featuring Jay-Z. But yeah, and he so that stood out to me because that like, I like that's happening in hip hop, and that's happening in rap, because it's really getting back. When you hear bars like that, when you hear lyrics like that, is good to put the medicine in the candy, as a phrase, the cliche old school phrase is. And I think it's dope because what I'm saying, like, hip hop is like, even though it's mainstream and it's bought majority by other races, what I'm saying, like whites and Asian people, but the people who make hip hop and the essence of hip hop comes from Black people. So when you hear rappers rap, for the most part, especially like a Jay-Z, is that they're speaking to the Black culture or to the Black experience and to Black people. And when it comes to certain things, so that in itself, I like that it's getting back to that, because that's the origin of hip hop. When you listen to, songs from like The Message, when you listen to like Grandmaster Flash, you listen to like records from 80s and 90s, they're telling their story, and they're speaking to their people, but also speaking to people who want to get a inside scope, scope of what's happening in their environment, or whatever environment that they came from. So I think that's good that we starting to hear that back in music, or even when we get it, every now and again. I think that is dope. So like I said, I wasn't a fan of the song itself, but I was a fan of the lyrics that Jay-Z was talking about on Pharrell's new song called Entrepreneur, which is on your DSPs now. So anywhere you stream, you can go listen to Entrepreneur by Pharrell featuring Jay-Z. Really teaching us about being entrepreneurs. I think that's like, it's always been a way, but it's more of a way now to really tell people, like, man, it's more than just a 9-to-5, and there's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. Or in the bar that I just talked about, is that he was saying that, hey, okay, so if you can't automatically just go be the boss, stack your money up and build cachet, build your brand enough to where you put yourself in position to own it, you know what I mean, or to jumpstart your own thing. And I think that's like the best way to put it. Like, that's what I do every single day. That's kind of the process, even with this, what I mean. It's like, you want to build a brand, you want to build different things to get yourself to a level of where you can do your own thing. Because working for somebody is cool until it's not, what I'm saying. And it really depends on who you are as a person, or what you desire in life. And it's like, I know for me, like, working a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life is definitely not the plan. Working for the rest of my life is the plan, and helping people is the plan. But working a 9-to-5 is different. And like being able to help people in the way that you would like to, on your time and on your dime, is definitely the move. That's definitely the move. And what I'm saying? I like to hear that in music, what I'm saying? Because you need motivational music. They got motivational music for everything. Like, if you in the street life, you got artists, rappers who speak directly to you. If you about scheming people, and they got music for that. What I'm saying? If you got uplifting music to bring us all together and unite and fight, it's good to hear rappers now transition, especially our older rappers, transition to talk about, like, yeah, like, we off that street stuff. We all about these business meetings. We all about knowing our worth. We all about ownership. So that's the we on these boards. We on these companies. We taking these meetings. We ain't even talking to you if you ain't talking about this type of number. Like, I think that's that type of talk that people need to hear in our music, along with all the other stuff that come with it. So I think the message was dope on that song, but wasn't a fan of the record itself. There was some other releases that came out, but those are two big ones that I kind of wanted to talk about. But one thing that also was big this week was Travis Scott and ghostwriting rumors. I think I may have talked about this on not Travis Scott, but ghostwriting on an earlier episode. So go back and go to the Life of GrandZ Facebook page to watch the Grand Fridays episodes 1 through 18, and then you can watch this episode once this episode is over, or you go to YouTube and watch these episodes. But pretty much, Travis Scott and the ghostwriting rumors. Well, not even rumors, because what happened this week, or last week rather, or earlier this week, I don't know. It's been a long week. But what happened is that reference tracks came out on Travis Scott on some songs that was on Travis Scott's last album called Astro World. So for those who don't know what reference tracks are pretty much is an official term for demos. So a demo is a reference track is, let's say for me, I use me, right? I write a song, I make a beat, I write a song to the beat, I record it, right? And I rap it. And let's say that I don't want to perform this song, but I got a guy who is really nice. Like, he has great voice, he has the following, he charismatic, all the good things, right? So he has all the good things to be a great rapper, but he's not a writer. He's not a writer. So what pretty much happens is I send him that song, he listens to that song, and he raps it word from word. The way that I rap it, the cadence, the flow, words word for word, and he just re-records the record. And we put the record out, and that record goes off, and now he has this big hit. That's essentially what happens. That's what happens in the music business, not just in hip hop. It was more so. Let me not say that. That's what happens in music, period, right? Because I'm about to break this down. Because what happened this week is Travis Scott was getting killed because the reference tracks came out. And there's another rapper named Sci-Hi the Prince, who is a really great lyricist, a great writer and rapper himself, who put out good music. He's just not as famous as Travis Scott. And he put out those reference tracks leaked of big songs off the album, like really fan favorite songs. And the number one song that was in the country, Sicko Mode. So, and it was like a 12-second clip of Sci-Hi rapping the verse to the beat and everything like that. So these reference tracks come out, and everybody lost their mind. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Travis Scott didn't write Sicko Mode or Coffee Bean. I can't believe it. Oh my God, here's another ghostwriter and blah, 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 and all this stuff like that. Then what happened too is that made people dig on the internet like everyone does. And then they found more reference tracks from Travis Scott music, which was another big song called Pick Up the Phone by that was written by this artist named Stara. She's a person that people may not know on the surface, but if you are in music, you know that she's one of the best writers, ghost writers in music right now. She's writing all of the big hits. Her name is Starrah, Starrah, and she's writing these records, and she wrote Travis Scott verse on Pick Up the Phone. So that reference track actually had been out for about a year or two. Like, the album came out probably about 4 years ago. So that reference track has been out for a long time. So it's not new. It just surfaced now or being talked about this week because the Astro World leaks came out. So I'm, like I said, I think I've addressed this before, but hip hop is the only genre where artists are ridiculed for working with other people on their music. And it's because the alleged origin of hip hop is that you have to write your rhymes. You have to be the person who penned this rhyme. You have to rap your own raps. Can't let another rapper steal your line is one of the classic lines in Rapper's Delight. And the funny thing about that, which is what I'm getting into, is that everybody has this mindset that rap is built on everybody writing their own rhymes and speaking their truth and speaking about what they've seen and talking about, and you ain't no real rapper if you don't do that. The reality is rap has always had writers and ghostwriters forever. It even before Rapper's Delight even came out, rap has always had writers and ghostwriters. So I don't even understand when you do your history on rap, hip hop, it's only been around for 46, 47 years, right? Rap, hip hop has only been around for 46, 47 years. So it's not that old. So to find this information or to look this stuff up is easy. And now with Google and YouTube and everything, you can find all this out about hip hop. Like that, you could be an average listener and find out all of this stuff that I'm saying. Hip hop has never been ever had rappers who just wrote all of their rhymes. There are some people out there who just write all of their rhymes, but for the most part, mainstream hip hop has always had writers. Even like I said, Rapper's Delight is the first mainstream hip hop song that made it, right? That everybody knows. One of the members of the Sugar Hill Gang rapped the whole verse that was written by Grandmaster Caz, by like lyric to lyric, like the whole line. He even says, "Don't let another rapper steal your rhymes." That's a rhyme that he stole. That's a rhyme that he did not write. So and it happens. It's happened throughout history of rap. So some of your biggest favorite songs are performed by one artist but written by another person. Getting Jiggy With It was written by Nas. Since I talked about Nas earlier, Getting Jiggy With It was written by Nas, but Will Smith made that a #1 song. You know what I mean? So things like that happens all the time. Everybody knows about the Drake and Quentin Miller reference tracks and things of that nature. I mean, it's just a known thing. Or Kanye West is a big example of having writers or writer team and writing majority of records. You can't find an era where Kanye West, when you really dig deep, you can't find an era where Kanye West actually wrote his lyrics. People say Kanye can rap, and he probably can rap. I mean, when you make beats and you have that type of rhythm and you have that type of like in sync with music, you can put words together. You can put words together and you can have a flow, especially if you are the type of producer that that truly produces records, where you tell people like, no, change this, do that, do this, do that. Yeah, you can rap and you can write. You probably can rap and write. But to the magnitude of being one of the greatest rappers, that is not where Kanye is. And you can go back as early as College Dropout and see Rhyme Fest, GLC, Consequence, and Really Dope, different rappers who were a part of the process, even Late Registration. So it's never a period for Kanye where Kanye was just solely writing records. I say that to say that this notion of that you gotta be that type of rapper is fake, and you shouldn't get knocked down as one of the greatest rappers or artists of all time just because you don't write your lyrics or you don't write all of your lyrics. I do think that it should be, probably a little bit more respect, especially the higher that person goes, for writing their own lyrics, but this is a business at the end of the day. We're talking about just like the art form of hip hop and rapping and writing, then I truly understand of people writing their own lyrics. You know what I mean? Like when you think of battle rap, even in battle rap now, you got battle rappers working with battle rappers and they're constructing their bars and lyrics and stuff like that. So just in this era and in this time, nobody really, I won't say nobody, but it's few far in between that people are writing their own lyrics. Like I said, it's a business, and the way that the business works now is that you have to constantly create because of attention span and oversaturated market. It's a million people doing shows like this that's on the internet. So what's going to help me stand out? Working with somebody else could be the case, or it could be like how I'm doing this show right now, where it's all my brain, all my head, and I prepare everything myself. But I mean, once you get to that level, you got to work with people. So with Travis Scott, working with others, and he's also a producer too, and he's a magnet, like a superstar. So you busy. You're busy, you're living a certain life. It's hard to, I mean, I ain't nowhere near them, but so I get writer's block. I get last week episode was called Beat Constipation. You know what I'm saying? I get beat block all the time. Like once I'm out of my mode or my zone, it's hard to get back and create. And that's why like last week or in this week too, like I only got one beat to play, and I literally only made one beat. I've sat down at times to try to get back into the groove and make something, and I had ideas but was not able to formulate anything. And then finally it comes to you and you create, and you want to keep creating, but sometimes it's at random times where you dead tired. Like for me, I'll make a beat, I finally get in the groove or something, it'd be like 2 a.m. So then I got to go to bed, start work, do some things, and then I get a moment to get back to that, and then I complete that, and I want to keep going, but then I got other things to take care of. So it's like, man, I don't get an opportunity to really get into a groove. So and I'm just explaining my regular life. So just imagine Travis Scott, where you got all these business ventures, you got all these different things that you got to do. You gotta write and rap for other people, produce for other people. You also working on your stuff. You got all these different things to make money, all these different things going on, all these different business ventures. You're gonna have to have help, and you want to make the best product possible. Like the owner of McDonald's or the Walmart family, aren't creating everything that's in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not doing everything themselves, planning out the whole landscape of what Walmart looks like and all this stuff like that. They're not doing all, you know what I'm saying? They got a whole board. They got a board of directors. They got, all these people. It's a business. And it's no different when it comes to music. It's just, because you look at music differently, you don't appreciate the fact that, hey, they're giving me the best product. It's like, yeah, this is cool, but I gotta knock him down because he went and got help. I don't think there's anything wrong. I've been saying this I've been saying this since Kanye West. So it's been like 10 years, 10 years before the Drake thing. But Kanye West was, and I've said this numerous times, Kanye West was the first artist that really got me off of the whole, you gotta write it all by yourself. Kanye West was the first person that made me be like, oh, you know what? I got to cut some people some slack because his music's still harder than the people that's writing his rhymes. I don't know what to say. I cannot not like him, you know what I'm saying? Because he don't write everything. So the Travis Scott thing came out. Shout out to Sci-Hi for being able to have that versatility to write a sicko mode verse, then to go write the most lyrical, righteous lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And just the versatility of just how to write so many different songs. And that's type of artist that I want to be, and type of artist that people should strive to be like be able to where you can always make money. where when you write a rhyme or you write a song for somebody, you can write for a female or you can write for a male. You can write for the rapper who talks about the hardest stuff or craziest stuff to the rapper who talks about saving people and, or even writing songs around Christ. Like, just being able to do that versatility is amazing. Shout out to Stara, sorry, is, she's been killing the game for years now, and people still may not hear of her, like her music. And that's the thing, that's the knock to the people who write. It's just like, people always say, like, well, if this person was really good, why aren't they as big or bigger than Travis Scott? Why do they have to write for other people? It's simple. People like who they like. Like, you as the fan, you like who you like. Like, it may be somebody, it may be a look, it may be, how you perceive somebody, but or you may not rock their voice or something like that, and that may hold back an artist from growing, or a label could look at this person and be like, yeah, this dude is not this dude or this female is not attractive at all, but I like their songs, I like their lyrics, I like their talent, so they offer him money for the song. And sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it really about becoming that big artist and getting, hopefully one day getting a break? Or is it about just being in the music industry and sharing my gift and my talent and it getting out there? That's one way to look at it. And then from the business side of it, I mean, you still get paid. Matter of fact, you get paid more than the artist does when you write. Like, and I broke that down a few episodes ago about how much songwriter and producer credits and things of that nature. Like, man, I'm going writing a song and producing a song, like, together, that's going to give you literally half of the record. You own half that record. So, like, and just think about it. If you got more writers on that record with you, it's 12.5%. 12.5% is how much, like, you can get. So when you break that down, when you add more writers onto it, you get like a 3%. You get 3%, right? So 3% ain't nothing. Like, So that's why it's like, I'd rather be a writer and a rapper, a writer and a producer on a record, because I'm going to probably make more money. I'm going to get songwriting credits and I'm going to get publishing credits. And that's why it's like, people only know hip hop as, the surface level of hip hop. Like, I got to be the artist. I got to be the nicest. And it's like, if you're looking at it from a profit perspective, I mean, you still should do it for the love. But if you're also looking to make money out of it, there's other ways to make money than just being a rapper. Being a producer can get you money. Being a songwriter definitely gets you money. Being a songwriter and producer and being nice at it and will definitely get you more money than probably everybody on the record, because, you doing two services and you get paid in two different spaces, such as publishing and songwriting and production. So you're getting paid in multiple places. So I think it's dope. Let's see, happened with Leon Ware. Right. Yeah, Leon Ware and I Want You. Barry Gordy heard the songs and gave them to Marvin Gaye. Exactly. I mean, it's been happening. It's happened throughout time with music. And it's so many different tricks that's happened. I mean, from that example of Leon Ware and Marvin Gaye to Michael Jackson. Just thinking of the Jackson, Blaming on the Boogie. Blaming on the Boogie. It say that all on that whole album, Destiny, it says all songs written and produced by the Jacksons. The person who wrote Blame It on the Boogie, it was a song that came out, I think, a year or two before the Destiny album came out. And it was written by a guy named Mick Jackson. I'm sorry. Mick Jenkins is a rapper from Chicago. Shout out to Mick Jenkins. But Mick Jackson was his name. And he's from overseas. He's from the UK. and he had the song "Blame It on the Boogie," and it was doing something out there, but it wasn't big. The label bought that record. Epic, CBS, they bought that record and gave it to them, and because his last name is Jackson, they counted as the Jacksons. You know what I'm saying? So it's tricks like that happen all the time. Yeah, like I said, and that's a ghostwriter. That's something else too that I want to be clear about this conversation about Travis Scott, is that the difference between a writer and a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter is somebody who you don't know who they are, and they do not have physical credits on the project. So if you look at, and I know it's harder now because it's harder to find lists like songwriter credits. I mean, shoot, I feel like Wikipedia is the only place that you really can find it, or if you got Tidal, they still do it. But to find songwriter credits and to read them, it's pretty hard to find these days. But if you get your hands on songwriter credits, those are writers. Those are people who are on there. And because you don't know your artists or these other artists' real names, don't make them ghostwriters. A ghostwriter is somebody, the literal term of a ghost. Like, you don't know who they are. You don't see them. You don't know that they affiliated with this project. That happens all the time with writing books. That happens all the time with music. That happens all the time with anything when it comes to writing, is that there's a lot of ghostwriters. That's where usually the term comes from in the literary sense. So, and that happens all the time in hip hop too. That is people that ghostwrite, that you would never know that they're part of that song unless somebody dropped that knowledge. Like getting jiggy with it. I don't know if you see N. Jones on Getting Jiggy with It, but it's known that he wrote it. Or Jay-Z. No, you see Jay-Z credits and I think in some Diddy stuff, and you definitely see it on Dr. Dre. Still Dre and things of that nature. But that's the difference of a writer and a ghostwriter. A songwriter is someone who gets credited. So if you see them on the album, then they're not a ghostwriter. Don't call them a ghostwriter. Sci-Hi is listed on all 4 tracks on Astroworld. His real name is there. You can go look it up. He has writing credits. You can go look on Kanye last, I want to say 4 or 5 albums, and you will see Sci-Hi real name. You will see the same name that's on Astroworld. You'll see the same name there. So it just goes to show you that Sci-Hi is a writer. He's not a ghost writer. I'm sure he's ghost written for people, but he's more of a writer. Because he's credited. And he gets paid from royalties every time that record is played. So that's the difference. And I just think that it's okay to have writers. You want to create the best product. You know what I mean? And I look at it like this. I respect somebody who creates the idea and creates an idea in a concept, and then is smart enough to utilize other talents that can flourish the idea. Like, I think that that's dope. I mean, you do that in business. Music is no different. So I think we just got to erase that. And because it's happened from the origin of rap being put on records, it's like, why are we so hard on people? Like Eazy-E and Dr. Dre are 2 of the greatest artists, rappers ever, but they will never get the credit because they don't write their rhymes. But I don't know, just something to think about. But that's gonna have me transition into my new beat for the week. I'm gonna play, get it early out here. Well, not early. We about 44 minutes in to the show. So this beat I made literally yesterday. I made it yesterday. Like I said, it's been really busy weeks for me. Been having beat constipation. And something finally came to me. I'm like, let me stop forcing it. Let me just naturally just play around with it, because I was trying to sample things. I was just doing a lot and nothing was really coming to me. So with this beat, it's an R&B beat. So I just playing around with different sounds and different things and melodies and things of that nature. And then I had finally got something, but I went to bed because it was like 2 a.m. But then the next day, then later on that day, I was able to finish the beat and everything like that. So I don't really know who this sound like. Actually, I take that back. I do know who it sound like, but this person I don't know if we on the fence or not about him. I say Trey Songz. Let me just say the name. I think it's Trey Songz. I don't know if we really on the fence about Trey Songz due to all of the accusations that's been out there this week. So I ain't really want to say Trey Songz, even with me posting this beat on my YouTube and on my social platforms. The type of beat, like, is what you name it. So, like, I'm hesitant to put Trey Songz next to it. But hey, how about this? How about I put it Trey Songz, and then if we killing Trey Songz the same way that we doing with Daystar, then I'll change the name. But right now, Trey Songz, I think is still okay. But that's who I think it sounds like. Like, he would be on this record. But it's a beat I made yesterday. So let me know what you think in the comments. All right, so that was my new beat of the week. It was an R&B beat at the 120 BPM beats per minute. Made that yesterday. Made that beat yesterday. Came up with the idea probably around 2 in the morning. Yesterday, probably finished that record probably like 4 or 5 p.m. Mixed it. Probably was done around midnight or something like that. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm gonna definitely post that on my BeatStars today. Probably gonna try to create a video for that and post it on the YouTube page so that you can listen to it on YouTube. Definitely be on the Life is GrandZ Facebook page as well. You can follow that page on Facebook, Life of GrandZ page, and then of course GrandZ Insert Greatness here on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who's hopped on and off the live for episode 19 of the Grand Fridays. We now at Crown Talk. Hopefully you got your crown. I got mine. And as a king, So this week, Crown Talk is know yourself, know your worth, right? So this week, like I said earlier in the show, at the beginning of the show, I had to consult with my wife and my brother. And I really value those two individuals' opinion when it comes to business and money. I think that they both have, similar personalities, and probably because they both Sagittarius. But just the way that they think when it comes to when it comes to finances and business is something that I appreciate. So this past week, whatever, I've been really posting my music and on my platforms, on all of my platforms, really been putting out beats that I played on here on this show, and really promoting them, just putting them out there so people can listen to and people can get familiar and building my brand. You know what I mean? And one of the records actually was the beat I think I played last week. That was kind of got the Rick Ross Justice League feel, Maybach music type of feel. I decided to promote that, to promote it on Instagram, where paid promotion. So on Facebook, Instagram, on all of these platforms for the most part, they have a option where you can turn your post into an ad. And on Facebook, you will see it on the side of your screen, or if you scrolling down your timeline, you will see an ad of a random person that you don't know or somebody you may know, and you'll see an ad talking about their business or whatever post or product that they have. So that's pretty much what I did on Instagram. I get a lot of traffic musically on my Instagram, either in my DM or people comment on my post. So I'm like, hey, okay, cool. I'm a pay this money, and I like I said, as I do this type of things, I'm going to share this with you, so because I know that there's other people who are out here trying to do it as well, or even if it's not music, business, you're doing something business related, and I just want to educate as I learn, or educate period, so that you have this knowledge and you can do it yourself. So I took that post and I went through the Instagram ad, and I had paid, because I'm like, okay, well, some of my posts that I do on Instagram, I don't pay for it. I just naturally do it, and I use hashtags, and I'm like, okay, cool. I get 500, 600 views, 600 views that way. I get like 30 likes, 40 likes, and maybe like 1 or 2 follows or something like that, or, things like that, profile visits. So I was like, all right, let me see what I can do if I, put some money behind it. See what I can do with put some money behind it. So what I did with this beat is that I put $30 behind it. I put $30 behind it, so that's $5 a day. So for 6 days, $5 a day, I pay Instagram $5 a day, which they at the end of the whatever your campaign is, they'll pull it from your account. So $30, and within 6 days, it based on the statistics, it reached had 19,000 impressions. It had about 16,000 16,000 people that it saw, and it had over 12,000. No, I'm sorry, it had about 1,200 to 1,300 views on the video. On the video with 60 likes. I gained 5 followers from it. I had 7 saved videos, or 8, and I had a few comments on it. So that all came from it, right? So now for some people it's like, man, you reached all them people, but you only got 5 followers from it, or you only got less than 20 profile visits. Like, was it really worth $30? Well, $30 is $30. I mean, it's relative. $30 is a tank of gas, or $30, so $30 is, it is what it is, $30. So, but to me, it was worth it. And the reason why it was worth it, because what happens with using hashtags, and to not only use the hashtags, but also pay for the promotion, is that it continues to bring known artists or people that I don't know to me, that then hit me up in the DM and talk about working. So you do have other aspiring artists who hit me up in the DM that's like, yo, I want to work, or yo, I want to buy this beat and this, that, and third. And that's cool. I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody who's grinding just like me, trying to make it. So that's dope. But it's even cooler when you post on your stories and you got famous people looking at your stuff, or comment on your stuff. So that's what's been happening since I really started being active on social media again, is that I'm getting known artists, or artists that I know rather, hitting me up in the DM, or commenting on the things that I post, or liking the things that I post. And I think that's pretty cool. So what happened this week, which is what made me come up with the title "Know Yourself, Know Your Worth," is that in my DM, I had a songwriter who hit me up, and this songwriter, I won't say his name because this is not to be a negative conversation about him. It's more to teach and show, like, hey man, you gotta know yourself and know your worth. And sometimes the opportunities that come your way, you gotta pass on some things, and trust your process, because sometimes you gotta determine, like, what type of sign is this when a person comes and reaches out to you. So randomly, like I said, with me posting this and me doing all of this, it attracted people to me, of course, wanting to buy beats or wanting to work with me in some type of way. So this dude is a platinum songwriter. He's written on certain songs. He works right now and manages Snoop Dogg's daughter. And he also is a songwriter and for Atlantic Records, based on doing my Googles on Buddy. So he hit me up and he like, man, I want to work with you. You know what I mean? I'm really feeling the music that you posting, that you got on your page. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, I want to work. But he was like, oh yeah, and sorry, one thing too about him is that he just wrote on Chris Brown's last album, Indigo. He has song credit on one of the songs. And it's a nice song too. So he's a writer on the song. So it was pretty so like, from one perspective, I was really excited because I'm just like, man, so all this stuff, me doing the Grand Fridays, me doing GrandZ Top 5, me doing promoting my music, or, paying for promotion, all these hashtags, all this stuff, these beat challenges, all this stuff, getting people to pay attention, be like, yeah, that's what's up, get a follow here, there every week or every other week. It seemed like a slow process, but then it brought somebody who's a platinum songwriter to me. Even though I only got like a little bit over 300 followers, like, hey, this dude want to find new up and coming talent, I guess. So he hit me up and he's like, man, I want to work. I want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? I really like your beats and all this stuff like that. This is what I do. This is who I am, blah, blah, blah. So I've worked with people in the past, and I've got burned or lowballed and things of that nature. So I want to make sure it's legit. Like, and another thing too is that I'm also not a spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a young dude anymore when it comes to mentally, musically, or business wise. Like, this was 10 years ago. I'd be geeked, and this conversation would be totally different, and I probably would have took the deal that was offered. So Buddy was like, yo, I want to work with you. And he was like, but to order to work together, I gotta pay him. I gotta send him beats. So this is what he said he would do. He said that this was the agreement. I send him my best beats. So, which is everything. No, but I send him my best beats. He's going to write to him, and then he's going to shop them around to labels. And what happens is that, once they're placed, those rights placed, I could potentially, because labels are looking for producers and people to sign. So, but to make that happen and that collaboration happen, I would have to pay him $300 to do this. So for him to even listen to the beats that I sent him, or to even he would listen to them because he liked them. But for him to start writing records to him, he said that, I got to pay him first. So pretty much I cash app him $300, and he'll write the song. He'll start writing songs to it, and then he'll shop them around. So again, when we talk about $300, like certain amount of money is relative to people, right? Money in general is relative. Like, somebody could say $1,000 is a lot of money. Somebody could then turn around and be like, $1,000 ain't nothing. I'm not one of them people. $1,000 is a lot of money. It's not the end of the world, but it definitely hurts. It definitely hurts if you get gypped on, just lose out on $1,000. So, you know what I'm saying? So $300 was the amount. So you can look at it however. Now for me, and I'll be honest, it wasn't about the money. Like, because I got a job, I can make $300. Also, because I have certain skills and I believe in myself, I believe I can make $300. So just a beat alone, because in the same week, somebody offered to buy one of my beats that I posted. So if I want to charge Buddy, artists out there, $300, that go to $300 to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to cut do slack because he's up and coming, and one of these beats, I like this beat, but it's not something I'm gonna do anything with for sure. So if you want to buy the beat, you can buy the beat. But anyway, so this dude is like, pay him $300, send him my best beats, and then he will write songs to it, and he will shop them around. Now, for somebody who's not in the game or may not have those particular contacts, that sound like, and I'll be honest, this was one way that I was looking at it too, is that, like, for $300, that's cool, because it ain't the end of the world of $300. I'm also not, if nothing happens out of it, I took a risk with $300. Like I just said, I feel like I can generate $300. And because of that, I'm blessed to be in that situation now where I can generate $300. So it wasn't never about the money. It was more about risk and knowing your worth. So if you look at it from a different perspective, he's asking me as a talented producer, or in which he feels I'm talented because he reached out to me, to send him my best beats, that he's going to shop them around. So just in case, if let's say this does happen where he was able to place this record or place a record, I could potentially now have a placement, which is when I started this show, I told you one of my goals for this year was to get a placement in each genre, one for R&B, one for hip hop. So now I can get a placement. I can potentially be in a space of getting a placement and getting connected into the industry, or specifically what a potential label could come out of it. That's one way you can look at it. All for $300 and sending beats to this songwriter. But the adult in me and the person who has a little bit of experience in this world was like, there's no really risk there on the other end. So we was having conversation, and I was trying to, kind of try to leverage more so, or not really leverage, but trying to make it a little bit even, where it's like, okay, it's a little risk here, or let me make sure that, okay, even though it's still a risk, let me know for sure that my $300 will do something. And that's what I was trying to get out of the conversation. And then what happened is that Buddy started talking kind of crazy in the DMs. He started talking like, man, Google me, you know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a platinum songwriter and all this stuff. He was talking real crazy. He was talking real crazy on in the DMs, but I kept my composure because I'm like, I don't really want to burn this deal, because like I kind of vetted him and I'm like, he seems to be who he say he is, but I don't like the fact that you talking to me crazy. Like, I'm not the one you reaching out to. Like, I didn't reach out to you. You reached out to me. And if you're a platinum songwriter and you looking for dope, fresh music that you can get for the low, then you got to make it worth my while. You can't just, think that I'm going to be geeked about, oh, well, I'm paying you to write to the beats that I create, which you don't know that I can write. You don't know that I can do all this stuff that you're doing, and I make the beats. So actually, my talent is kind of, if we can't compare on writing skills, but at least from what we're doing in the process, my skill set right now is a little bit bigger. You don't know that I write, but I know I write and I make the beats. So I'm already ahead. So why would I pay $300 to you to write to my song? And that was essentially where I was stuck at. But on the flip side, like I said, maybe I could look at it from a different perspective of, maybe this is a sign and I've been working hard and I wanted, it's almost a year since I said that I wanted to set the goal for getting the placement, and that this could potentially put me in the space of reaching those goals. But talking it out with the close people I said, I agreed with them. And, we kind of all were on the same page, where it's like, it's not enough risk for that. And you got to understand that if somebody say today to you, like, yo, I like what you do, you nice, you dope, and they say, pay me to do something with your talent, number one, you should take that as, you got something. Whatever you doing, whatever your process is, stick with it, because it's generating interest, and take it as a sign from the powers above that you on the right path. Because that's really, for me, that I was looking for talent from my talent in general. It's like, I've been doing music for a long time, but I took a break. So, and since September of last year is when I started getting back into music just off a whim. And I started making music literally every day since September to now, more or less every day. And for it to generate people interest, especially somebody who is a platinum songwriter, credit is where credit is due. Like I said, this really wasn't a conversation about, knocking him or, getting at him. It was more so to let me know, like, hey, the plan that I put in place, the things that I'm doing to get myself to that next level in this realm, I'm moving on that path. So yeah, I may have 5 people who watch the Grand Fridays. I may have 8 people who watch the first episode of Top 5 all the way through. You know what I mean? And numbers like that right now, but it won't stay like that forever. And if it does stay like that for, you know, a period of time, then paying $300 to a dude to go ahead and write for it is nothing, right? So that's where it's like, you got to know yourself and you got to know your worth. You got to know what you bring to the table, you know? So for me, I feel like I'm worth way more than $300, and then I'm worth some guarantees. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, it's so much that I can learn, and I'm trying to learn musically, in about the music business. You know, as this is something I'm passionate about and have always been passionate about, but I still don't feel like every opportunity that comes my way, I should jump on it. And that's where the conversation I wanted to have today is like, I mean, just the statement today is just let you know, like, man, whatever business that you in, if people are starting to mess with it, even if like create a plan and set goals and stick to the plan, trust the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it may be a slow start. It may not pick up tomorrow or month 3 or month 5, but I'm telling you moving in the right direction, especially if you focus on building your brand, because people will rock with a brand that they can trust or a person that they can trust, or, you know, and if you got talent, people will come. You just got to stay consistent. And that's something that in this past like year of getting back into it, that's something that I definitely pride myself on and wanted to continue to do, is be consistent. Do it every day like I used to back when I was a teenager or in college, and do this every day, get back into the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Work on your craft, work on getting better, learn new skills, try new beats that's out of your realm, work on melodies, work on all this different stuff, utilize other tools and resources to get better. You know, learn how to collaborate with other, like just all this different things that can make the best product and help me grow as a artist, as a producer, as a songwriter, as a business person in this realm. So after dude was talking crazy, I then responded in a positive way, kept it over. And I was like, yeah, I still want to work. I even was vulnerable, like, yeah, you know, I've been burned before, this, that, and third, whatever. And he was like, you know, I told you I like your music, man, blah, blah, blah. So I ain't gonna tell you again. So he was just talking crazy. But so I asked him, you know, send me your Cash App information and your email, and I seen some beats, just so I can end a conversation with him. But I never sent it the money or the beats, because like I said, I went and thought about it, and then I talked to my team and it was like, you know, the things that I was thinking about already were the things that they confirmed. Like, hey man, you got to believe. I mean, one, you got it because clearly somebody who is a little further than you are in the process is interested. So keep going, keep sticking to your plan, and do your thing. And like I said to y'all, if somebody offer you $10,000 today for something that you're doing, you know that is worth more than $10,000. Whatever they offer you right now is more than what is worth. And that's just more times than not, it's worth more. You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody's charging you to be a part of what you bring to the table, keep grinding, keep going, keep doing it, because that's what I'm gonna do. Because that should be a sign like, hey, I'm on to something. I'm nice. I'm decent. I got something going for me, so that I don't have to jump in and you know, pay somebody for my talent. Like, and you know, and that's what I thought off rip. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna pay you. I know you got cachet, and this happens all the time in music. So that's why, like, I know some people hear it too, probably got the same notion, like, man, you paying somebody to write a song to your beats that you making. Like, they the ones that need beats, and that's true. They do need beats. But there's going to be people who pay for it because that's normal. Like people will pay for, you know, people who have cachet, people who have clout will charge others who don't have clout or have little to no clout, you know, money to get some of they clout or get some of they light and where it can benefit. And then they're going to create deals where the leverage is more to them than it is to you. And you just got to realize, is it important? What's more important in this situation, the opportunity or the money, or is the risk higher than the reward, or is the reward bigger than the risk? And like, you got to really sit there and think about it. For me, when I break this down, there's a lot of positive things that could potentially happen, but there's a lot of negatives that can happen as well. But if Buddy like me now, he gonna like me tomorrow because I'm keep making hits. I just, you know, and Dope Beats just played one earlier in the show, and I'm gonna end with that one too. So I just think that just knowing yourself, knowing your worth, it's the same thing at your job. Like sometimes your job lowball you. You should always, you know, especially when you're in negotiation, you should go swing for the fence. Like the worst thing they could tell you is no. You know what I mean? Or they can meet you in the middle somewhere, and then somewhere where you're comfortable. I've had that happen too, where, you know, I'll go high when I know that they're going low in a negotiation, and we get somewhere in the middle. And something where it can hold me for 2-3 years, because normally that's how I feel. Like for me, every 2-3 years, I kind of want to go back to the table and negotiate. I do that at work. I've done it for the last few years, and it's worked for me. Like I said, it doesn't work for everybody. You got to know exactly what you're doing, and you got to have, you got to know your worth. You got to know your worth and what you bring to the table, and how to monetize it. And that's something that I'm starting to figure out in this space when it comes to music, how to monetize my worth, and also knowing to not settle when you know you have more talent that you haven't utilized yet. Like this show right now, you're only getting 1 to 2 of my talents. You're getting my talent as a person who makes beats, as a beat maker. But you're not getting, and you're getting my talent as speaking, you know, nonstop and long-winded and all the crap. But you're not getting the other talents that I do musically, you know, like I said, songwriting, performing the music. Like you're not getting that yet. So, which that's coming, but you're not getting that yet. So, and because you're not getting that, you know, and I'm not presenting that yet to the world, that's a whole nother bag that, you know, I can get into, which will give me, you know, more flexibility and opportunity. So just know yourself, know your worth, know that if somebody comes with this offer, especially if you just started doing it, don't jump and take it. Don't jump and take it, man, because now you could be in a situation that long term hurts you, all because you wanted to find your way into the business, or find your way into a financial bag, where, you know, you could have probably made that 3 times over if you just stuck with your grind. So that's the end of Crown Talk, man. I know that's we here for an hour and 17 minutes. I usually get out of here at hour and a half. So this is 19th episode of the Grand Fridays. Thank you to everyone who's hopped on and off the live. Really appreciate it. So no cap in the cap segment. I definitely talked about this on episode 14, July 17, episode 14. So you can go back and hear in depth what I said about Daystar Peterson or Patterson, whatever Tory Lanez's real name is. And the situation with him and Megan Thee Stallion. I mentioned on that episode too, that I mentioned on episode 14, I mentioned that he shot Meg, and that I knew immediately when I heard the different things that was reported. I was like, he shot Meg. Like, it's all there. Like, and all I knew was two things. And then as the hours surfaced, it was just more evidence that he shot Meg. And then we haven't heard anything from him since that night, that Saturday night back in July. We haven't heard anything. But yesterday, Meg finally came out and said Tory Lanez shot her. She also said he shot her for no reason. They were all arguing in the car. She got out the car, she was walking away, and that she was in the front seat, he was in the back, and from the back seat, he was shooting at her. So, ta-da, you know what I'm saying? Voila, you know what I'm saying? No shocker here from me. I said it a month ago. Yes, Tory Lanez shot her. It's a clear sign of them dating each other, going bad. You really don't know this person for real. This person got all these abusive ways, and like I said, I don't know these people for real, but based on what I could see with my eyes watching this stuff on social media, is one, he's small. He's a small man. You know, the reports say 5'3". He's 120 pounds, and he drinks a lot. When you drink a lot and you smoke a lot, you know what I'm saying, and you that small, it's gonna impact you totally different than, like I said on that episode, like a guy like me who I'm 6'1", 210. So 6'1", 210 versus 5'3", 120 pounds. You know what I'm saying? That's totally different. That is going to impact you differently. So, yeah, I wasn't shocked. Yesterday, she went in detail, for the most part, went in detail, said that they were arguing, said that she got shot for no reason. She wasn't threatened by him jocking Kylie Jenner or nothing like that. And he shot her, more than likely under the influence. They weren't at Kylie house. They were near the rented house that she had out in L.A. And a neighbor called, and she didn't snitch because she was worried about, something physically happened to any of them, where they could die. Especially it was around the time where all the protesting and things was going on. Now, I'm gonna give that part the benefit of the doubt because it was around the time where all the protesting and around the country was happening, looting, protesting, all this stuff was happening. And it's Cali, it's LA, you know what I'm saying? Police are not fond to African Americans out there. You know the riots, Rodney King, all of that. That still goes on in 2020. You have to be naive to think that it doesn't. It happens everywhere. I mean, as you can see, we're recording it and we putting it out there, and that's why these deaths are happening. Arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All this stuff is still relevant right now because of the fact that cops do these things. So I will give Meg the benefit of the doubt there. But as far as Tory Lanez go, and something else she stated too about what Tory Lanez and his team has been doing. They've been putting out there these alleged false stories of, Meg was beating on him, Meg was violent, abusive, and then you got all these people who are friends of the culture because they're not part of the black culture, but they friends of the culture like Adam 22, reporting this BS. Like I said, you don't have to be a genius or have to be there to understand what happened. You know what I mean? You could just watch and pay attention if you can be observant. You saw with your own eyes that these two were dating. You can probably pinpoint, like I did on that episode, you can pinpoint when it started. You can also pinpoint some of the false things, some of the bad behaviors of Tory Lanez. And that's essentially what she talked about. And now you're starting to hear all these different stories from R&B singers and rappers and, female artists just come out and, females just in general come out talking about how Tory Lanez and his behavior. And it's a shame that it, like I said, I'm like we through with Tory Lanez. Like he done out here. We ain't listening to Tory Lanez. I ain't listened to Tory Lanez since that day. And like I said, it's hard because like he got some hard songs, but he done. I don't support anybody who put their hands on a female. I definitely don't support you for shooting a female. I don't care what she talking about, what happened, what's going on. If she ain't got no gun in her hand shooting at you, then you probably like you shouldn't be shooting at no woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be doing any physical harm to a woman, period. Is the true essence of life. You know what I'm saying? Like we are bigger than them, we are stronger than them physically. That's not what we own. We here to have their back. Now, one thing I didn't like that came from it, and I say Meg was alluding to it. Well, not alluding to it. She kind of said it, but I give Meg the benefit of the doubt to say it for the simple fact that, she's hurting. She's, you could tell that mentally this is taking a toll on her and emotionally this is taking a toll on her. You see on the lives. But what I don't like is that it now creates all this stuff on the timeline about women, black men don't protect black women. You know what I'm saying? I want to dead that. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Let's be clear. There are some weak dudes out here who don't protect women, who abuse women because they emotionally, mentally fragile, and they some suckers. So they do this stuff to women. They physically assault women, they demean women, they do all these things to women. And unfortunately, we've been glorifying that forever. And a lot of that's learned behavior, but we still got to take ownership for it when we participate in it. But for that to just be a blanket statement, I want to say as a black man, that is false. That is 100% false. I've always tried to protect black women who are around me. I protect a black woman every single day. I'm going to continue to protect the black women around me. And I know of plenty of black men who ain't on that, and will never be on that. And on that episode, I talked about being in spaces where, you have the thought and you have the mentality, but you never get to the point of putting your hands on a woman, not even threatening, all that stuff, like walk away, all that, like get away from it. Get away from the situation. Definitely get away from that woman if it's putting you in that scenario. And I don't care, being on drugs or alcohol is not an excuse to do this behavior. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting no pass because you're doing that. And like I said, I'm not here to judge nobody for doing drugs or drinking or nothing like that. This show, I got a segment called Crown Talk where I'm sipping an alcoholic beverage as an adult. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it in moderation. I ain't getting faded on here and jumping on here. So like that's not an excuse for, black men to, harm women or to do things to women. But what I don't want is that to be a narrative to where teenage girls or young kids or even young women got the mentality, or even grown women got the mentality that black men out here don't care about them. Black men out here are not protecting them. Black men treat them like animal and all that stuff like that. Like, nah, we ain't on that. There's more black men who are out here protecting and about doing damage to people who disrespect our people in general, is specifically black women. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want women to feel like that. I know that I do understand where it can be hard to vocalize your plight and your frustration. But when you throw a blanket statement like that, then you got people really saying that and riding with that. Then you got statuses that focus around that. Then you got shows, you got all this stuff. And then again, it just add on to the black man's plight. And I'm not trying to switch it and make it about the black man, because this is about a black woman who was harmed by a black man. So I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to put it in a proper perspective. Like, let's not create a narrative that don't exist for majority. It doesn't exist for the majority. There's a group of men who don't love themselves or got all these issues with themselves and women in their lives, that they take it out on the people, or they take it out on women. You know what I'm saying? And they get abusive, verbally, physically, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff like that, psychologically abusive. But so yeah, it's still Tory done out here for me. I don't know how everybody else feel, but I'm good on the Tory Lanez. Listening to him, I'm rocking with him. I think he should go to jail for shooting her. He definitely shouldn't have a career. So even if he don't go to jail, he definitely shouldn't have a career no more. It's like, come on, fam. Like, when are we gonna not support? Like, you know what I'm saying? When are we gonna not support people who do these things? I'm not saying that people can't change their lives around, but we can't just give them a pass without them going through a period of suffering for the actions that they created. You know what I mean? No one is perfect. No one is perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to talk like I'm perfect, because I've had my share of mistakes in life. I'm just saying that there are certain levels to this that you can't have it. We can't have it as a society. We can't have our kids thinking that it's okay to disrespect women. We can't have our kids thinking that it's like a woman's job to, do everything that a man should do, and vice versa. I don't think that women should expect that men should do every single thing, just like women don't expect men to do every single thing. I think that there still needs to be some type of gender roles. And I know I'm gonna get killed for that, but I think it needs to be some gender roles that needs to be specified, and we need to talk about that. But one thing's for sure about gender roles is that men should not be putting hands on women for no circumstance, no matter what it is. Like, don't put your hands on a woman, because, like, one, you already know what time it is, and like I said, two, which is really number one, you're physically bigger than them, and you are supposed to create these are the vessels of life. You know what I'm saying? They help us create life. They give birth to human beings. So these are precious cargo. We gotta treat them as such, and that's not a way to do it, man. I don't care what happened, and I don't care what you own. That's dead. But it did, like, watching it led me to think about Meg and her mental health. And like, every time I see her go live, I can see that, like, she wants to be okay, but she's not okay, because everybody's talking about it. Like, I'm a person talking about it now, like, but everybody's talking about it, and to see that, and even if you somebody who turned off your comments or not reading any of this stuff, somebody's gonna tell you about it. You know what I'm saying? Either your label gonna tell you about it, either your publicist, your team, your friends, somebody's gonna tell you about it. And if you do interviews, everybody gonna talk to you about it. So it's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to get away from it. Let me see what you say in the comments. There needs to be some healing between black men and women. I truly agree. So there does need to be healing between, black men and black women. I don't know where. I mean, I got ideas, but I don't know where it came from, where we just became so far on different sides of the spectrum. Like I don't understand how black men and black women, like, we got majority of the same plights. There's about maybe one or two that is a little bit different, but for the most part, like, our struggle is the same struggle. And the fact that we so far apart in how we view each other, how we view the world, to the point where I believe that kind of plays a role on why there are a lot of single people in the world. Like us as men, we don't do a great job of trying to understand the woman, and from experience with women, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard sometimes where the emotions overcomes the you know what I'm saying, the mind. So, you know what I'm saying, the logic. So, you know what I mean? Like, but I do think that we need to heal, and you know, therapy is something that's really is really important. And I think that it's good that we're talking more about therapy and having you know, having mental health conversations and going to seek help, because I know in the Black community that's something that, you know, has always been taboo. Like, man, why am I going to talk to somebody about my problems? They don't know me, they don't know what I've been through, they don't know the people around me. But the reality is like having somebody who's unbiased is actually, you know, more helpful, because they tend to give you more of a truthful, factual answer about you and your situation, or help you guide you to a truthful, factual answer that you may need, more than somebody who knows you, because they're going to be kind of jaded based on their experiences, along with the fact that they have emotional attachment to you. So going to talk to somebody is very helpful. You know what I'm saying? Going to talk to somebody is very helpful. And the dope thing that I seen yesterday, but I got today, one of my friends in Houston, Iwune Wane, she sent me an article from her site, mine over melanin.com. So go check it out. I'm gonna put it in the comments. Mine's over melanin.com. And just talking about how to look for a Black therapist. And you know what I mean? I thought that was dope that she wrote about that, and because she's in that field. She's in that field, and so she's very educated on that field, and doing big things in that field, definitely down in Texas. So, and I just think that is dope that we're having more people that are getting into that realm in psychology and things of that nature, from, you know, really helping us dig deep and find ourselves as people, and really getting to the root of our trauma, man. Because I mean, just looking at the Meg and Tory situation, that's just deep rooted trauma. I mean, if you learn about Tory Lanez, his childhood and how he moved from all these different places, everything that happened to him and how he was living, like, he's a troubled person. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a negative. That's just facts based off of his life and what he shared. And you can YouTube this and find and watch interviews where he talks about this stuff. So just hearing that, and then you listen to Meg Thee Stallion story the same way, where she came up and she lost both of her parents, and they were the closest thing to it. Just recently lost her mom about a year or two ago. So, I mean, you hear all of that, and by the age of 25, she has no parents. You know what I mean? Just, you know, I know what it feels to not have one in my life, but couldn't imagine not having my mom, you know, and not being able to have the access to my mom is, you know, I don't know what that, you know, how I feel, you know. So just looking at both of these individuals, and then they get into an industry where that tears you down in a lot of ways while they're building you up, or they build you up to tear you down, and all these different, and that happens. So and then you go through a traumatic situation of being shot and getting hit and going through the whole process of all of that, like, mental health is serious. This is not just a cool thing to talk about. I'm not just saying this because this is a trigger word to get hits. I'm saying it because I believe it and it's true. You know, getting, like, we as African Americans, we need to utilize assistance, you know, and it's not a crutch. Not utilizing it as a crutch, not utilizing it as you know, not being fearful of it, but utilizing it to help you and to help, because when you help yourself, you then help others. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to help yourself first. They tell you on the plane, you got to fix your stuff first before you can even help assist anybody around you. And that's the same way when it comes to your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. You got to do all those things and take care of yourself first before you can help others. And it was great that she sent me that article, because now if you go read that article, not only is she giving you resources and kind of talking about the taboo type of topic, but just helping you find ways to find Black therapists and things of that nature, where to look, because that's something too that as a person who's looked into therapy before and who's done it a couple times, you definitely want to find people who can relate to you. So they may not, and I know for me, like, one thing that was important, especially with wedding counseling, was trying to find, talking it over, like, I kind of want to go this, like, if I gotta go, one, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. But if I gotta go, I want to go to somebody who understands the plight of the African American. Not that I can't learn, or not that the non-Black therapist can't educate me on myself or give me tips and tools. It's more about, it's certain things that you express in certain ways that only somebody who's from your culture can understand. Certain things that happens, or upbringings, or things of that nature. Like, if somebody hasn't experienced that, I don't care if they Black, brown, white, purple. If you haven't experienced that, then you won't relate, you won't understand, and you won't be able to give the best advice possible. But so for me, that was always important when I thought about therapy or going to therapy, was trying to find somebody who I can relate to. So I think it's dope. Like I said, the website is Minds, MINDS, over melanin.com. You can go there, read the article about, read articles in general that's helping you to, take care of you, better you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna type that in there. Something else that happened, because I'm wrapping up. I know I'm over. I'm 10 minutes over, but I feel like, man, this is just some real stuff that need to be shared. So because people are tripping out here, man, and then what happens is that, like I said, people make a blanket statement that this is this is what it is for all people. And it's like, this ain't what it is for all African Americans or African American men. The other thing that happened was Trey Songz. So, like I said earlier, with the beat I made, and that I'm about to end with right after this statement, this last, wrapping this up, Trey Songz is in the news for sexually assaulting women. So you got some women who've come out here and there over the years, and he's denied it, or and people say that he's been paying people and stuff like that. I can't speak to those things, that's alleged. But recently a couple of women came out and said that they were sexually them and their friend was sexually or rape was the direct word that was used, raped by Trey Songz, you know what I mean, and sexually assaulted, where in one scenario Trey Songz pissed on the girl. I don't know why that's been a thing, why there's dudes out there that want to piss on people. That, I think that's wild. Why is that exciting? Why is that a thing? That's just another way of demeaning and disrespectful to women. So even if he's not sexually abusing women, like raping women, the fact that you even think about pissing on women is demeaning. You know what I'm saying? It's demeaning and nasty. You know what I'm saying? And we've heard this in rap songs forever. You know what I'm saying? That's like a culture. It's like a thing. But golden shower, you know what I'm saying? That's not what's up. That's not cool. That's disrespectful to anybody who you like spitting and pissing on people. Come on, man, that get you killed, type of thing. But So that was stories that would allegedly happen with Trey Songz. So I just, like I said, I just wanted to address the fact that you know, Meg Thee Stallion, hope that mentally, emotionally you heal as well as you are physically healing. Try to drown out the noise as much as possible. And just black women out there, know that we do love you. And that there are some dudes out here who are creeps, who are losers, who are abusive, who just want to control and all that stuff like that. And if the Trey Songz things is true too, it's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard too, not to listen to Trey Songz, but he gonna be canceled too, man. Because like I said, I'm older now, so supporting people, separating what they do from their talent, I can understand that, and I get it, but there's certain things that morally that you stand for that you can't just turn a blind eye to because this person is talented and you love them. You know what I mean? Same thing with R. Kelly. I rarely listen to R. Kelly, and I think R. Kelly music is timeless, but because of what he did and who he did it to, I can't support it. I can't listen to it. Can't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I really try not to hear it. Like if I'm somewhere in it play, that it is what it is, but I'm not personally going in my phone playing R. Kelly, not, listening to no new R. Kelly record. I ain't sampled the R. Kelly record. I had about 3 or 4 records in my mind that I'm like, man, I want to flip them records, but I'm like, nah, because at some point that'd be paying him. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting his punishment right now. So same thing with Trey Songz, man. I've sampled Trey Songz before, and but yeah, if he's out here raping, sexually abusing, or sexually assaulting women, we not on that, as men. And I stand with women, with the women, like off top. So, and that's no cap in the cap. All right, so I felt good about this episode. This episode lasted a little longer. We're an hour and 45 minutes in. I am wrapping up. Like I said, episode 2 of GrandZ Top 5 will premiere on Tuesday. It will be on my Facebook stories on Tuesday. It will be on my Instagram pages on Tuesday. And these are 24 hours, so you can watch it 24 hours. So follow me on GrandZ32 or GrandZ32 _ music. And then Wednesday, you can watch the full video. And then starting tomorrow, episode 1 will be posted on my YouTube page. Right now, it's posted on IGTV. So if you got Instagram, you can definitely go watch it on IGTV, or you can go follow me and click the little TV. And you can watch the IGTV of GrandZ Top 5. Also, you can follow me on Life of GrandZ Facebook page. Please follow me there. So that's facebook.com/@GrandZ32. So you can follow me there. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe, please. And comment. I respond to the comments. You know what I'm saying? I like when people comment on my videos. Go ahead and listen to some beats. Go ahead and watch previous episodes of Grand Fridays. All 18 episodes. The 19th episode, which is this one, will be posted tomorrow too, or today or tomorrow. Probably tonight. So if you missed this, you can watch it on YouTube. Or what else am I forgetting to promote, man? Oh, BeatStars. Go to my BeatStars page. The beat that I played today will be up there in a little bit, so you can go listen to this beat in its entirety. Please have your headphones. My music is harder. My music hard on here, but it's even harder when you got your headphones in and you listen to it on YouTube, on my Facebook page, or if you go to Instagram or my BeatStars page. So if you are interested in, working, collaborating, and, buying or leasing beats, go to beatstars.com/GrandZ32 and check me out. All right, I'm gonna play that beat one last time and get up out of here. Like I said, thank you to everybody who's hopped on and off the live this week. This was episode 19 of the Grand Fridays. Episode 20 next week, man. Next week, let's play this beat. Get up out of here. Later.